Interestingly, between October last year and just March this year, there has been 6 different calls from the Catholic Bishops' Conference, from the CHAS, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Schools, and also from NAGRAT, all demanded, as early as just March, all demanding a review. And for NAGRAT, they said they wanted a consultative general review with all the people involved, like the way we do with NESA, so that people can make inputs. Charles asked that they should review the plan in a way that will make it meaningful for others to be participating, especially when it comes to who is funding it and how it's supposed to be funded. Well, the ministry rejected the Charles offer, but there's not been much said about what the Catholic Bishops' Conference said, what the NAGAT also said, which is as recent as March of this year.
So, to sum up, the government of Ghana has been assessing themselves on free SHS. They have not had the opportunity to take feedback from those who are affected by it. Then, honestly, they should, in fact, government of Ghana, you are welcome. We're happy to offer you this service. It's time for the Joy Business Minute, brought to us by
Consolidated Bank Ghana, CBG, we stand with you.
Hello, welcome to the Joy Business Minute. It is brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has begun engagements with stakeholders to solicit their input into a possible upward adjustment in both electricity and water tariffs marginally. This is because of the rising operational costs of the utility companies. The National Petroleum Authority has been charged to halt issuance of new licenses to oil marketing companies and focus on cleaning up the sector. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers is the latest to make this call after a similar proposal from the Association of Oil Marketing Companies. The Tama Oil Refinery has announced that it is close to securing a strategic partner to support its operations. It has in a statement denied reports of total shutdown of the refinery. And elsewhere, China has overtaken Germany to become the UK's biggest single import market for the first time since records began. And that's the Joy Business Minute, brought to you by Consolidated Bank Ghana. We stand with you.
When you're afraid I die, if I go back to JSS, like Mr. Apia never go lash me, because I would have studied hard enough to answer all the questions he asked me. Charlie, school the B, back class the ball. School the B, back class the ball. School the B.
Right, so welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. And the CBG Flex Plus account is a hybrid account that serves the purpose of both current and savings accounts, and there's a flexibility to transact with checks. Now you will enjoy the following benefits when you sign on: competitive interest earning account, no monthly maintenance fee, access to digital banking, access to checkbook, and access to ATMs and 4 withdrawals per month. Enjoy high interest on your deposits and still be able to operate as you wish. For further details, please contact us on 0302 216 000 or visit any CBG branch near you. Email info@cbg.com.gh or visit our website, cbg.com.gh. You can also follow us on all our social media handles for updates. Terms and conditions apply. CBG, we stand with you.
Indeed. And, well, let's get back to it. This is a feedback opportunity. And it started yesterday. Here's what some of you have been telling us about free SHS and the double track system.
My daughter came home with her results lead, and I got like, oh, babe, are you sure this is your result? And she was like, Mommy, this one TA. Even our friends are complaining that this is not their result. And I have the opportunity to see the script, because a friend is a teacher, to see the exam script of some of the students and the bump they have written. Yet the result that comes out at the end of the day, it's nothing to be compared. So please, if the government can do something about it, let him just scrape off the free education. We pay the bills and then he increases our salary probably, because this is more like robbing Peter to pay Paul. We are not benefiting from anything, yet you're not increasing our salaries either. The future of our children are at stake, because what they are coming out, I asked my daughter what an atom is. Final year, she's unable to tell me what an atom is. I had issues with conscientizing the girl to understand and to accept her fate at that time, because the boy will go to school, come home before the girl goes. And it was creating issues for them in the house as well. So I had to look for teachers to come home. While the boy is away, I have to look for teachers to come home to teach the girl so that she will understand that whatever the boy is studying and whatever the teachers will be teaching her at home will be equal. It got to a time where I had to stop because the financial constraint was too much. And so anytime they vacated, I had to enroll them in the normal classes that was organized by the school, and I had to pay 500 each. And if I'm not able to drop them in school, I have to give them like 25 cedis each a day if they were going to go for the classes. You can also calculate. And they say it's free SHS. So where is this free SHS taking us to?
The free education is rather costing we parents so much. Why am I saying so? Currently, as is at home, I pay not less than 350 Ghana every month for classes. Besides, I have to buy data of not less than 60 Ghana every week. And do you know the interesting aspect, Kojo? When my son was in school, we were told that they will be vacating somewhere at the end of, I think, March or so. Then suddenly, we had information that they are vacating Thursday, so everybody should come for your word. So my son, since he entered school, has written exams only one. They were preparing to write their end of term semester exams, but suddenly they were asked to go home. They didn't write for any exams. Why don't government allow us to pay fees and get quality education for our children? We don't even know when they will vacate, when they will go, and besides, look at the cost involved.
I'm speaking as somebody who is an implementer. It is so bad. These students sleeping on the floor is not new. It is so bad. Students are crumbled in the dining halls. It's terrible. Now, GES and for that matter, headmasters don't decide when students go. It must come from the top. When they don't even know the calendar, at times they even fix holidays for reopening. They fix Good Fridays for reopening.
What?
Let me tell you something. To speak, they just sent monies down to the schools called perishables. These perishables, these schools in this country carry a penny. Apart from the boarding school where these teach students, these schools do everything that the boarding schools do. But not a penny had been sent to these schools that were built, new blocks and whatever. Today, I'm telling you, not a father has a pay to them. The heads of these institutions are using their monies to run the schools. It's fantastic. This double trapping, students are home attending classes. Because if you don't let your son or girl attend class, you will end up rotting in the house.
I sell tomatoes by the roadside. I can't afford to pay extra classes for the child. So whenever they are home, they are just loitering about. They don't do anything. I can't pay. Others are having opportunity to pay extra classes. We cannot pay. We can't pay. If I can sell my little tomatoes and then pay for the child to go, it's better than having the free HSS.
Yeah. So this is feedback. There was even more than this, but the question then that came to our mind is that if all these things are happening in schools across the country, then how are headmasters coping? How are they managing? Of course, we mentioned to you yesterday that before the show, we tried and spoke to dozens of heads. None of them were willing to speak to us. Well, today, one of them is brave enough. Of course, we won't use his real name. Headmaster John, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for making the time to speak to us. We know we have a lot to learn from you, and we'll start right after these messages.
Babe, so what are we doing tomorrow?
I have to go to the bank, then go and pay for the stuff for my place. Then maybe back to the bank to transfer what's left to my brother. So
Are you serious? You're going to the bank twice in one day? Who is she? Eh? Which bank? Which branch?
Oh, babe, but...
Oh, don't babe me. What's her name? Tell her what.
It's a new day.
Make your life easy with CarBank mobile banking. Just dial *771# and just like that, your life is easy. Transfer money from your CarBank account to any other account. Do mobile money and other payments right from your bank account on your phone, anytime, anywhere. No internet, no charges. It's just that easy. *771#. Banking is easy with CarBank.
CowBank, forward together.
CowBank, forward together.
Kwame,
Charlie, right now, dear, the printing business slow. Power problems every day. I'm not able to meet client demand, and it's a big worry.
Charlie.
But Charlie, you actually bought that heavy generator as a backup power. Business is good for you.
Thank you, bro, but I didn't buy it. I rented it.
Sir, away.
From the Generator Express, of course, Anointed Electrical Engineering Services has added rentals to their wonderful services.
So you mean, apart from the sale of quality generators and spare parts with their impeccable 24/7 after sales maintenance and services, they also do rentals?
Exacto, man. Anointed has a wide range of generators from 5 to 1,000 kVA ready for rentals, my bro.
I see. They are still at number 77 Anointed House off the Odokomalam Road in Accra, right?
And in Kumasi, Anointed is in the City Style building in Amakum near HFM. And all Anointed branches across the country are still operating. Call their hotline 0243 480 334. Anointed Electrical Engineering Services. Still the generator experts.
Super Morning Show.
Come back to the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. What matters to you matters to us. That's why we do these things. And what we're doing today is we're giving the opportunity for you to give feedback to the system about how free SHS, the double track system, how it's going. It must work. So let's figure out how to make it work. Headmaster John, not his real name, joins us over the phone. Good morning again. Thanks for making the time to speak to us.
Good morning.
Now, yesterday we heard some parents telling us that their children inform them that there isn't enough food, that they have people who are sleeping on the floor, and that running the schools is becoming more and more difficult to the point where teachers and heads are telling the students to let their parents bring them food, otherwise they can't eat. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Is that the reality?
Thank you. Good morning. I think this is a normal spectacle when free SHS is mentioned. Yes, you need to augment the free stuff or the provisions you give your kids. And then for the sleep on the floor, it's a normal thing. Congestion. It's all over. Where there is space, no beds, everything will come from Accra. So it's a common phenomenon we are facing. My colleagues will not speak because, my brother, if you are not careful, you'll be, transferred, sanctioned for speaking out. That is why they wouldn't speak. I'm left with about 6 months to go. I don't fear.
So tell me about the hardships you are forced to manage. Let's start with this food situation. What's happening?
The food situation is alarming. You see, formerly, parents were buying food from the local markets and feeding their students with whatever fees they were paying. Now we have to wait on buffer to supply even maize to Amedongokro, yams to Sunyani Bay, where such foodstuffs are in abundance. It must take somebody from buffer to bring. And now what is worrying, because of upward adjustment in prices, the suppliers are not willing to bring the food items. If they want to bring it to you, if it is 50 kg, they will bring you 30 kg. If you reject, the students will go hungry. If you take, it will not suffice the students. That is the situation we find ourselves. And you can't complain. We don't have any way to complain but to wait or to use your own money to get food for the students.
Have you had to do that? Use your own money to feed the students?
Come again?
Have you had to use your own money to feed the students?
Yes. Until recently, they brought something they call perishables. We were feeding the students on our own. A lot of noise were made. They wouldn't listen. My brother, it's terrible. Heads will not speak.
So tell me, I think for some people, they are finding it very hard to believe that a head cannot tell the truth about the problems in their school when they are being forced to use their own money to feed their kids and they are making people's children sleep on the floor. They can't speak the truth about it. Tell me about that fear. Do you have examples of people that it's happened to?
To a district office, you will be transferred to a place where you may not like, it frustrates you. Because you are telling the truth. It's sad.
Do you know of heads who have been victimized in this way?
The one that comes to mind was the first time teachers was, instituted in this Lungwa Presby headmaster for paying for furniture. What happened? They took him away. But the situation still persists. You don't have furniture. And if you complain hard, if you ask somebody to help, it's a problem.
So educate us, what's the normal procedure? If a school is having difficulties like what you're describing, what are you officially supposed to do about it?
We are supposed to inform our district directors, who then channel to the regional directors. We speak to our union body. Then they will be ignorance on it.
So you have done that?
Give to the union, the Nagrat and Co. to speak on our behalf.
Right. So you have done that, right?
Yes.
And what happened? What have you been told?
Well, they told me you get food. You get food. Food will come. Until you get some traction on the airways, nothing comes.
Wow.
Yes, so Headmaster John, let's get to another important aspect of it. That is the release to you for administrative purposes and, the purchasing of perishable foodstuff. Now, when did you receive your administration grant, if I could put it that way, or monies for the administration of the schools?
I think way back in February, January, February or so.
And what percentage of the amount was given to you?
You see, they tend to give us 30% for perishables. Read those in the body schools. 30% perishables. But the amount wouldn't come for you to be able to calculate it. We need to know that it is 30%. So every stream, 30%. So Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. As we speak, Form 1, nothing has come. They have been to school.
Nothing has come from Form 1. They've been in school since the 18th of March. You haven't received any money?
Has come from Form 1. And this one, my worries for the day schools, they have nothing to rely on.
So, imagine, the message here is that if you have a child in Form 1, it's likely the government of Ghana is yet to provide money for your child's feeding under free SHS. Now, let me ask, was this the case before free SHS came along? Is this the first time we've had shortages in schools and
no.
And so
before
forth?
free SHS, the parents pay their fees. So the fees are itemized. You pay. At least you have something to run the school till students go and bring the rest to come and pay. But now, after the summer, everything is from Accra. If nothing comes, you must make sure the school is run. You can't close your school now others are running from their own pockets.
All right. So, what do you tell the children when you can't feed them? How do you communicate? What do you say to them?
tell them, we don't just tell them that there's nothing. We tell them, you see, for the food aspect, we will find a way of getting them food to eat. That educational exams, you get just bringing questions, that you have to get money to buy A4 sheets, tuna, cartridge, and others. So you have to reduce the questions. We tell them to reduce them because you can't afford. But for the food, we don't tell them anything. The only thing is that they go to dine and they get food to eat. You see, let me give you a typical example. The sardines that they print. Formerly, we had 3 fingers or 4. Now it is 2 in the text. And it's supposed to be 3 for each table. When it was 4, at least they had 12 to share. Now they are 2.
And how many students are on a table?
10 students on the table.
I see. Now, let's get back to the money bit, because just this Monday we're told that 154 million has been released to secondary schools under the free SHS scheme. You're saying you've not received that money; it's not hit your account?
Hello, come again.
I'm asking that on Monday we saw a story that says 150 million has been released to secondary schools under the free SHS scheme. Are you saying this money has not hit your school's account? You haven't received any money since...
Boarding schools have received. We have received boarding schools, but these schools have not, because it's meant for perishables.
Okay.
They don't cook, so they have not received anything.
Okay. So let's get some clarification here. You've talked about the perishables and you've talked about administration, for instance. So there's money released for perishables and there's money released for administration. When it comes to administration, help us understand how much is supposed to be released to the school, to be used in administering the school, to be used in purchasing stationery and other things.
Simple. It depends on the number of students you have.
Okay.
So if you have 20 students and government is paying 10 cities for each student, you must not 20 by 10 for administrative. That includes exams, everything, fuel, everything.
Okay. And that is what you say, that no money has been released for the Form 1s?
Yes.
I didn't get that. Come again?
Yes, nothing has been given to Form 1s.
So how are you able to run the school?
We are managing with whatever we have been given for the second and third years.
So that, does that mean then that what was given for the second and third years is enough to cater for the first years?
My brother, you can't complain. What can you do? You manage with whatever you have.
I am looking at some conversations among teachers that I have, headmasters that I've chanced on, and some talk about the fact that even when it comes to A4 sheets, they have to go and negotiate with suppliers, take it on credit while they wait for the release of these funds, and in some instances they have to use their own monies to pay for it. Have you gone through similar experiences?
It is a fact. In my school, for example, I have to pay for A4 sheets. I have not had money to pay. Because administrative costs have not been paid. And they are supposed to write exams. 10 days are supposed to write mock.
Tell me about the PTA.
PTA
do they try to play a role here? Do they try to
They
support?
are not functional now. No headmaster will get a PTA to help because you do it at your own peril.
Explain that.
You can't organize PTA to levy students. And if you don't levy the students, they say the students should they have the option to pay. Others will not pay. And if you don't start the students for the parents to pay, it will not work. So if you say that deal with the parents, you are indirectly telling them that you can charge.
So I see this also here that in one of the regions, for instance, there were complaints that SHS had completed their first semester and were given 50% payment. They've started the second semester till they are done with WASI. SHS 1 have done more than 8 weeks and no money had been given to you. Is that the case?
That's not the case, my brother. That's not the case. That's not the case. Either before when pre-phase started, early stages, you could, be called that you have some balance money to collect. Now, nothing is given to us. Everything comes from Accra, and the money they give you, if you want to divide it by the students, it's not up to the total number of students that we have. And the wait when figureheads are half pressed, that is the time they throw you money.
Now, the food issue that you talk about, when you, when you are in a region, it is expected that you get food from your original food buffer company, right?
Yes.
When you complain to the regional food buffer company managers, what do they tell you?
I tell you, I want to complain. So they also say that they are contacting the suppliers, and they don't show up on time. And you have to feed the students. Some people have to borrow for the open market. As we speak, oils and other things, rice, people are calling for rice, gari and other things. We don't have. Because the price is expensive in the open market. So they are not ready to sell us. Buffer, as we see, we know in buffer. This is not buffer.
So, somebody has sent me a message. I'm going to read it. It says, Kojo, it's true. If you complain, you will be transferred to a different place. It's like shut up and be in Accra, or complain and be transferred to remote areas. There are spies on campus watching every move of teachers and heads, even checking on our Facebook posts. Free SHS is not helping. It has reduced the intelligent capacity of students who are academically poor. And even those from better homes, if they don't attend extra classes during the unplanned breaks, they perform poorly when they are back in school. PTA has lost its strength in SHS. Whoever the headmaster is, I will say he's bold, very bold to talk on the challenges of free SHS. Headmaster John, do you recognize this? Would you say that these difficulties are affecting the academic capabilities of your students?
Of course, my brother, yes. Yes. Now we have students who don't have books because parents think that they are going to give them books. You can't organize a PT meeting to tell them. You tell them they don't bring it. What do? You leave them. Look, let me tell you.
That students come to school without books and they think you are supposed to provide them with books?
A lot. Let me tell you. If government has applied some core books to the libraries, but these books are meant for the students to use yearly. So when you finish Form 1, you have to leave it behind. Meanwhile, the exams is not a semester-based exam. You have to bring everything that you have learned from Form 1 to Form 3. Now the students are not going for the books. All because when they go for the books and they get missing, they will have to pay. So the students don't go for them again.
Oh boy.
So I'm looking at this, and this is from Char's page that I have this that says, I support senior suggestion. Our management thinks that they have succeeded because they've been able to put heads to check by denying us the needed resources. Napo once boasted that there has been no strike or closing down of schools during his time. At our last meeting, lawyers stated that they are not giving the monies to us, but instead to buffer stock, because we would use that to hold management to ransom by closing down schools. They fail to realize that heads are squeezing water out of stone just to manage the schools, though their buffer stock strategy has failed woefully. I think we have made a mistake by always covering up for them instead of dealing with the situation head on. If there's a need to close down schools, let us do so. Only then will they sit up and discuss with us seriously. Have you considered closing down schools?
It has always been the thought of my colleagues. Because, my brother, you can't be feeding 3,000 mouths, 1,500 mouths, 200 mouths, 250 mouths from your own market every day. And the very day you don't provide food, you know what will happen? And they sit in the comfort of the offices and they chastise us. They will call you as if you are not a human being. There is this DDG there in charge of management and whatever. They are actually wanting chastise us as if they have no people. No one is about 55 years and he's there.
Headmaster John, I want you to stay with us, if you can, because there's a lot more for us to learn from you. But we're going to take a break. Before we take that break, I want to remind us all of something. Nagrat President Angel Carbonu said this before May Day. And I quote, "We also have challenges with the payment of electricity, especially bills of schools that are on prepaid meters. On a daily basis, challenges develop for school management to address." He added, "The situation currently makes it difficult or impossible for school managers to solve recurrent and intermittent challenges." Government came out to say they have solved this problem.
Yes, release funds and that, except for a few instances, schools that are really supposed to be on prepaid were being supplied with the needed cash for the payment.
That's what government said.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back after these.
Just like moms know what to do in every situation, you can trust Fortune Rice for all your rice meals. It needs just a little water. The grains don't stick, and the aroma and taste are delicious.
Fortune Rice is all we need, just like mom.
Fortune Rice, always on point, just like mom. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Let's plant 5 million trees today.
Fellow Ghanaians, it's time to arise and build a better and sustainable Ghana for future generations. Plant a tree today and save the environment. Join the nationwide tree planting exercise and let's go planting 5 million trees on June 11th this year. Yes, we are planting 5 million trees in one day. Grab a seedling from your Forestry Commission District Office or District Assembly Office today. It's my mandate. It's your mandate. It's our mandate to protect our environment. Be a citizen, not a spectator. Green Ghana, let's go planting. This campaign is proudly brought to you by the Government of Ghana, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and Forestry Commission.
Let's plant 5 million trees today for the next generation.
Brother die. If I go back to JSS, like Mr. Apia never go lash me. Because I would have studied hard enough to answer all the questions he asked me. Charlie, school the B, back class the ball. School the B, back class the ball. School the B, back class the ball.
You're welcome back. It's the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. We're having a conversation about free SHS. We're giving the opportunity for feedback to the system because it has to work. Now, before we continue, on Friday the 28th of May at 10 a.m., a conversation about behind the mask, delivering customer experience that connects, is going to be hosted by the ABSA Business Connect series. It happens on the last Friday of every month on the ABSA Facebook page at ABSA Ghana. So join them to gain more insights from industry experts and so forth to keep your business thriving and alive. Evelyn Aqua is the Chief Customer Officer at ABSA Bank. She will be their guest this Friday, 28th of May at 10 a.m. on the topic Behind the Mask, Delivering Customer Experience That Connects. The ABSA Business Connect series, helping to take your business to the next level. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Hold up, because there's some good news coming your way. Kojo and Raymond, are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, DSTV's got all 51 Euro 2020 games live and in HD with expert analysis, and a pigeon commentary option. I mean,
That's
just imagine
right.
that.
It could be.
I mean, having the commentary in pigeon, I'd love to hear that. And so from Friday the 11th of June to Sunday the 11th of July, watch Sergio Busquets, Ronaldo, Harry Kane, Mbappe battle it out to be crowned the kings of Europe. This Euro 2020 as anyone's game, and it's available on all DSTV packages. Get connected for 229 Ghana cedis for a fully installed Zappa and 1 month's access subscription, or watch on the DSTV app. DSTV, feel every moment. Hey, terms and conditions apply.
They do indeed. All right, so let's get back into this all-important conversation. So, once again, we find ourselves in a situation where, since the introduction of free SHS, the challenge of schools meeting their bills, because they can no longer rely on school fees, the challenge of schools footing their bills has reared its head again. In the early days, we heard of headmasters who would hide under their desks when their creditors come knocking. Now we're hearing of headmasters who are afraid to speak because they will get transferred, according to them, if they are honest about the challenges they're facing. So they suffer in silence. Our children suffer in silence. And nobody is telling the system that you're getting it wrong.
Or you need to improve in this area or that area, or we need you to concentrate more in this particular end, because this is the goal of your introduction of the policy and the many things and the wonderful things you said you wanted to do with this. It's almost like, yes, we want you to be part of the system, but I can't say anything about the system. We want you to be part of an education policy we are rolling out, but you cannot really be out there saying much, even if you are suffering. And let it continue until we come back in the nearest future. Say, wow, there were massive problems we didn't fix. And that's why we ended up in this or that problem. And we need to critically deal with the issues right from there. Maybe this is just the opportune time for every important stakeholder to say, it's time we just take a step back and go through it all over again and be rest assured that we are on the right path. And I've been sharing consistently the people who have been consistently writing on this matter, the issues the headmasters are pointing out, the issues that we had parents point out, all of them have been articulated right from 2018. And of course, government has said on several occasions that we are working at it, we are fixing that, we have released this amount of money, we've introduced this policy to make sure that everything is working the way it ought to work. So perhaps when you do introduce policies, there is monitoring and evaluation. This is a wonderful time to step back and still look at what is being told you by the other stakeholders in the sector who are key to the implementation of an otherwise wonderful policy.
All right. I want to wrap up with Headmaster John. Headmaster John, this is an opportunity for you to give feedback directly to your employers, the Ghana Education Service, to the free SHS system, to the government of Ghana and those who are seeking to deliver this important policy to Ghanaians. Give them advice for us. What would you say?
Thank you. Because we all embrace the policy. We are all happy. For once, it is not a political thing with any political coloration and it's beneficial. What I would say is that the policy has been for 4 years plus. It is high time we review it. And they should listen to the major stakeholders who are the headmasters helping them to implement this. They cannot take us out of the equation. Not at all. Look, you sit in your office, and an auditor comes to query you that food supplied by Buffer, and you have signed an invoice. There are no prices attached to the quantities or the food that are brought. Meanwhile, that is the only job we are told to do. They bring you bags of rice from Accra, 100 bags. All that you do, you sign, your builder will sign, your storekeeper will sign. As for the cost of the price per one bag, we don't know. And they will fix their prices and give it to government to pay from Buffer. What do you make of this? And auditors will query you that you did not meet due diligence. Look, we should set up on the free SHS. It's a good policy. It's expensive. For that matter, we should set up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Let me hear from you guys briefly, and then we'll open the phone lines and bring everyone else in on the conversation.
Yes, could you let me just share with you some of the tweets we've had, and I'll share and then we'll continue from there. So at Dominic Obing says, micromanagement of our educational system by politicians is dangerous and unhelpful. It has resulted in far too many disruptions which affect the morale of students, staff, and support workers. We need a more standardized and consistent approach to managing our schools. And at Kuku Villan says, but no one is saying there should not be free education. Fact that your siblings enjoyed it does not mean it is working. There are several lapses, and government was advised to start with the deprived. They refused. At Eugene_Amwe says the school heads are afraid to talk because if they do, they will come after them. And at Ohineba PK says, did the headmaster say a place you don't like? Like, seriously? When you applied to be a headmaster, did you add a place of preference choice to your application? Okay.
Right. Okay. Lots of thoughts there, and there are more coming in. Please keep them coming. We'll share them as we receive them. Now, before we take these calls, I want to read something that somebody has put on Facebook. This is somebody called, let's see, where's the name? Nana Hesse Ojiri. He says, Joy FM consistent hatred and dislike for Akufo-Addo and government is legendary. What are they looking for? I don't know which of us would like to answer Nana Hesse Ojiri.
Well, I think that we started the conversation by making it obvious that this is a feedback section. I mean, we get feedback all the time. There are even government officials who would call you and give you feedback.
That's true.
And so governments work for in the interest of the citizenry. So the citizens have entrusted their power, to you, that you should serve them in their interest.
That's true.
So if you're doing that, the citizens at every point in time, the essence of accountability is that they should be able to tell you whether you are doing the things that you said you were going to do based on which they voted for you, whether you're doing them right or not. And it's the reason we're having this conversation. We started yesterday, you heard from the parents. Today you've heard from the headmasters. They're talking about the challenges that they're facing when it comes to the free SHS system. And that only enables government to know the situation on the ground and as a result, tackle them. You heard Headmaster John making it very clear that it's a good policy, but it has to be done well. I'm sure that's the conversation everywhere. The fact that free SHS has come to stay, it will be surprising for any government to say, we're going to abolish free SHS. But it has to be done well. And that's the conversation.
The surprising part is that sometimes it's as if we who work in these institutions and in the media, we are non-Ghanaians. It's as if we are from a different planet who do not have a stake in the future of this country. And so, well, it can be reduced to hatred. But if you see us as partners in the development quest, which you consistently say you do, clearly your posturing will be that we are taking the feedback, we are making sure we work at it, and we will fix it. The president can be rest assured that if this country goes well and all is well with all of us, we will be excited. We will be happy. There will be less dependence on us, and there will be less problems for us to resolve as a people, and we'll all be happy together. So we are not aliens who are just in there to piss in and do wrong. We are part of the system, and the Constitution mandates us to do this job in the interest of the state, in a way that we can clearly build a better country. If kids get better education, it's for the collective good of this country. In fact, Joy FM can employ more qualified people if wonderful human resources are trained by our schools. So that is the posturing that should be coming from people connected in or with some relations with government.
Okay, here's what I will say to Nana Hesse Ojiri and anybody else who thinks like him. They said we hated John Mahama.
Yeah.
They say we hate Nana Akufo-Addo. The truth is that the people of Ghana don't actually care who hates the president.
Yeah.
They care who hates them. That matters far more to them. Who loves them, who hates them. Not who loves the president, who hates the president. And when they are trying to decide who loves them and who hates them, they will ask themselves, if we have free SHS, and one group of people are telling us how it can be better, and another group of people are telling us that it is perfect, let's not improve it. Which of those two groups hates them? Call us 0302 216 541 055 1111 997. We'd love to hear your voice on this. 0302 216 541 055 1111 997. This is an opportunity for you to give feedback to your government.
But before we get to the feedback, so a source at the Ministry of Education just informed me that nationwide audit on first-year students just ended. It is based on the data from the audit that payment will be made to the schools. So that means the first ones, the first years, the administration, fees have not been paid. They've just audited the number of students in the schools.
I see. And how many exams did we hear that they've done?
Form 2, they said they had done 1 yesterday.
Abdel is in the northern region. Abdel, good morning.
Morning, Kojo.
Thank you for calling, brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you for discussing a very vital issue in the country now. In fact, about free SHS, the least we talk about it, the better. In fact, I have a colleague at work whose ward is in Form 2. And that ward only went to school. It will not be up to even 3 months. You know, they started and the coronavirus pandemic hit us. And up till now, hello?
Yes, we're listening, Abdel.
Up till now, he has not written any exams. The gold track, Form 2 gold track, it seems the gold track has been shortchanged. And when it was time for them to go back to school, they didn't start with the gold track. They started with what? The green track. As I'm speaking right now, come to our basic school. The problem starts from there. Even basic school, the head teachers, they don't have teaching and learning materials. They don't have furniture. My school is just near the regional office of what? Northern region. But come to our school, we don't have any furniture. Children are sitting in, they are dual dexes, but you see children are sitting in 4 pairs, in at times 5, and some are even standing. And even my school is just by the regional office.
Abdel, thank you for painting such
Just
a vivid
imagine.
picture. It's so troubling. Sahada is in Accra. Sahada, good morning.
Hi, good morning. This is Saada.
Talk to us, Sahada.
Okay. So I suppose the free SHS was actually a campaign strategy. So let's say now that it has won the NPP into power, can we just drop it like a hot potato? Now, we have a high record number of teenage pregnancies. Have we been able to attribute it to the number of times students are not in the classrooms? There's a correlation between children being out of school with the high teenage pregnancy. A study may not have been carried out on it, but trust me, I believe it is so. So can we please look into it? In as much as it may benefit a few in the society, supposedly the politicians, does it benefit the greater good of the people? No, it doesn't. from the GES to the Ministry of Education, all of it, everybody, including you listening to me speak, you know that thing is not working and it shouldn't be. So please, let's scrap it and get back to where we were before and improve on it rather than bringing things that we can't sustain. Thank you.
Thank you for calling us, Sahada. Issa is in Tamale. Issa, good morning.
Good morning. I think the complaints, I don't think we should direct it to the government. We should rather direct it to ourselves. In Ghana here, we want everything to be free, right? And cheap things don't last forever. And before that, we must bear in mind that nothing on this earth is free. So if we want to be free, then we will end up by jeopardizing the lives of the next generation. How is it that people who are able to pay for the education of their students, people are willing to pay and they have the money to pay, and yet we took the responsibility from them when we knew very well that we don't have the resources to cater for that. I respect the finance minister for speaking on this. There are certain category of Ghanaians who can genuinely not afford. If government is able to cater for them, it will be better. You see people taking fast salaries, and yet government is pretending to be paying the school fees of their wards. Meanwhile, those people have the have the means to cater for the education of their wards. So please, these free things in Ghana, it doesn't make sense at all. We should get it, and nothing is free. Thank you.
Thank you, Issa. George is in mile 7. George, good morning.
Good morning, Kojo.
Yes, sir.
Kojo, listen. All those who are making noise and saying they want to pay. You see, ever since the world was created, parents have supplemented the effort of government. Let them go and provide beds. Let them go and feed their children in school. Government is giving this thing free. Before government introduced free SHS, we parents, look, we were paying. Why is that headmaster not open up to speak? Is not a monster? What kind of nonsense is this? If you think you want to pay, go and give your children food in the school. What is it? For God's sake, that thing is free. You say it should be taken away, and then you will pay. You want to pay school fees, pay for everything, and give your children school fee money? Go and supplement it. For God's sake, let's think in this country.
Thank you for calling. Let's talk to Vincent. Hello, Vincent. Do we have Vincent on the line?
Yeah, please.
Good morning, Vincent. What's on your mind?
Good morning. What is in my mind is I'm a teacher myself, and the situation on the ground at the various schools is alarming. The Go Track came this March, and they are going just on Friday. How many months is that? The children themselves are also not serious. You are teaching their own. They are not serious in any way. When we look at the lifestyle of the children, the feeding, even in the school, as we are all saying, is also not the best. The girls are almost getting pregnant all the time. I have about 2 or 3 students that I know where I'm teaching. And it is time the government to wake up, solve this, or help solve this. If possible, the parents will help pay part of the fees, and we can make progress. And it's not helpful at all.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we have a number of students who are good, but because of the breakup, they come within some 3 months, they are gone. 2 months, they are gone. Weeks in the house for 3 months or 4 months. How would they learn well? So government should revisit. Nobody hates any government. We are also there to help as teachers. But the situation on the ground, nobody can talk. If you talk, you will be held responsible. So we are pleading that let us speak out, and let everybody contribute, and then we make a progress. Otherwise, the future of our children are at stake.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for calling us. Justice, good morning.
Hi, Kojo. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How's Lakeside today?
Not bad, though.
Good, good, good.
Yes, we are doing well. I saw some traffic in the area.
Oh, Charlie.
So, Kojo, I just want to say thank you, you and the guys there, for the good work. And I just want to encourage you that you don't get intimidated by the kind of comments some people are giving. Right from yesterday, you made it clear that free SHS is a good thing. But the thing is messed up. It's not working. And we are just having the discussion to make it work. And so it's not like anybody is against any government. For me, it's anybody, people who think that this is political. They are just naive and they are not just thinking properly. And Kojo, you refuse to catch that man who insulted on the thing and say, what kind of nonsense is this? I don't think anybody is speaking nonsense. People are speaking their mind, and if somebody comes to insult, please cut the person. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. And yes, if you do insult someone, we will definitely deal with that. Peter T is in Sukura. Peter T, good morning.
Yeah, my brother. Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Long time, eh?
Yeah, long time, my brother. For you, I always cherish you. Excellent topic. Discussion we are having this morning. Excellent. Especially your guest, I think you see the headmaster.
Yes.
Yeah, who came to speak his mind on the issue.
Yes.
Frank. And you know when this introduction, especially when the whole exercise started, and the schools reopened on this for the exercise to start. You know what the finance minister said? Yes, that he will not afford to send his child to school when he can pay for 10 or more people. That means that he himself, who has become part of the same system, the system, was closely to condemn the exercise. Not that is not good, but I think that time should be given so that the implementation will get its roots. And I think that the brother of the former president, Ado Kufuor, also said similar thing, that government should give, more time so that the implementation can be effectively, done. So what are we saying now? Not only those voices that you heard this morning are the problems are talking about this issue. Come to the community. I hope that one day you descend to the community to ascertain people's opinion, parents' opinion about this. Even though some of us, our children have completed, but I'm still having children that are under me that are going to school. And what you even pay is even bigger than the school fees that is supposed to pay. So better you pay so that you can have good service and then good education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter T. Henry is in Tema. Henry, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Not bad at all, Henry. It's good to hear from you.
Oh, thank God for the good work.
We thank you for Henry. If you can switch off your radio or walk away from it so that we can hear you clearer. Okay.
This free education system is a good policy, but our right now, you see, the COVID situation has just brought systems to a halt worldwide. And it's having an impact on every economy. And I don't know if even the minister who started this, Poku Pempe, should have at least listened to the CHAS and engage them to know before reopening schools and letting this thing, because it's become more of a wholesale approach. And now everybody see how the headmaster was speaking. They totally don't have a say. And if you have the lives of children on your hands, and you are just being toyed upon with, forced to make some decisions that you yourself, that this even have the impact will be very disastrous. And then what these students even, what about these crazes and stuff? Are they coming in with their real mind and their real self? We should be, we should just be truthful to ourselves as a country. The system. I think you should call the minister, Opokupempe, please.
Well, that's the former
Thank
Minister for Education. Thank you. George is in Kumasi. Hello, George.
Good morning, Kojo. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, George.
Kojo, you see that people are still defending this thing. You see, Ghanaians did not say that free education is not good, but give us free quality education. You see, our leaders are behaving as if this SS education is the end of, education. At the end of the day, if the children are not able to have good grades to go to the university, how are they going to make it in life? I have my friend who is a gardener, with a common garden boy. His two children have completed university, not because of free education. So if you are willing to educate your child, you educate him. You see, this free education is not helping us. My son is in Kumasi High. I don't have money to give him a teacher at home, and he stays home more than in school. It's not going to help this child. But if I'm to pay, I'll look for a loan or something and educate my child, give him free education, my son or daughter. No one was standing at the back of this government with a raffle to give us free education. You just come and implement free education because it's a party promise. It's not helping us. It is not helping us. Even God has stopped raining manna for Israel. So we don't want free buga education. Thank you.
Thank you for calling us. George is in Sakaman. George, how are you?
I'm good, Kojo. How is it?
Not bad at all, George.
Kojo, I can assure you, nobody can guard Joy FM. The formidable Joy FM will know nobody can guard Joy FM. And I'm happy for your result. You guys are doing fantastically well. Then one, Mama was lambasted more than any political leader in this country. Not even our Ija Atanos. Okay, there are a lot of problems with this free SHS. It's a good idea, like I said yesterday. Let's put stakeholders together. Let them come to the round table and solve this problem. We can solve it. These are problems. Every problem, every policy comes with its own problems. We can solve them. And let's stop preventing, like we are gagging some people to stop talking. These are very, very important issues that we can discuss. And we should stop this praise singing when there are problems. Have a good morning, Kojo.
Thank you, too, for calling us. All right, we have time for one more call. Let's go to Tema. Here's Ejare.
No, Kojo, this is Ejare from Damfa.
Oh, from where?
Damfa.
Oh, wonderful. How is Damfa this morning?
Damfa is very cool, Kojo. We are doing very well over here. Kojo, thanks for the opportunity. For me, I think that I would wish that the president will scrap this free education so that Ghanaians will keep quiet. Because, Kojo, I've realized that, you see, always we are all talking about Rwanda, we are all talking about US, where systems are working. We normally draw comparisons between Ghana and other developed countries and all that. But I've realized that Ghanaians are too ingrate. Whatever the president will do, people will not be happy with it. I'm not saying that when there are challenges with the free education, people should not complain. But it looks like the complaints are being, are too much. And for me, if we want to measure the success of the free education, we really want to do a sagacious or shrewd analysis of the free education, whether it is quality or it is not quality. We should look at the result. What was the result that came just, those who completed and now they are now in the various universities? Was the result bad? If the result wasn't bad, then we should use that one as a benchmark or a yardstick to determine whether the free education is good or bad. Fine. When the education was not, SHS was not even free, we all know that still teachers were being paid to teach our students or our children. That was there. So it is not as if this is a new thing that has been introduced from somewhere. It is something that has been in existence for a very long time. And I'm saying that if you want your child to go through any extra classes, it is your own discretion to determine that based on your financial strength. So if you know you cannot afford, you don't have the financial capacity to do that, you can say that your child should be in the house when the school reopens or the school is in session. Your child can go to school. But the way we are just trying to always, talk about free education is not good. There's the traffic here and there. Kojo is not helping us because.
Hello? Hello? Oh, it seems we lost that caller. But thank you, Ejari. Thank you. We kind of got the gist of what Ejari was saying. And we thank all of you who have called to give feedback to the system on how free SHS is working. It's now up to the system to decide what to make of your feedback. But this conversation, I mean, it's only just gathering steam. Tomorrow, we return to cast the critical eye of the nation over this policy one more time. Which aspect are we going to be looking at tomorrow?
Well, Kojo, tomorrow we're going to be looking at a few things. We're going to have, the teachers also share their views on how the system is working. You want to hear from the students also.
Yes.
Those who are involved in the system. And so stay with us. Tomorrow is another leg of the conversation.
Absolutely. All right. We'll take some messages. And when we come back, it's Wednesday. It's Corruption Watch Wednesday. After these.
Man, with all these computers, servers, and electronic equipment, I know they see one cable for the floor cry.
Charlie, you be right too. We they use raised access floors from interface, so all the cables they hide under the raised access floors. So
this be the solution to the plenty cables where they my computer room for office. Accountant, call interface now.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation, or decoration, the